When we're doing a peel out, we're talking about four things: position, angle, speed, and edge. So you can use the acronym PACE. So position is how upwards or downriver you are on your peel out, where you are positioned in the eddy. The angle is going to be your angle of attack that you leave the eddy, and your speed is going to be how fast you are crossing the eddy line back into the current. And edge is how much edge you lift up on your boat, right? Not leaning, because leaning is different than edging. We're keeping our torso vertical, and we're edging this boat, right? So you basically want to be like a trout that comes upriver, and then you're going to fade back into that current. So position, angle, speed, and edge.
One thing to note is that the PACE acronym really deals with the boat itself and not so much the paddle orientation, which we will also discuss in a moment. But if we do not get the orientation of our kayak correct, what we do with our paddle will be of little consequence. This simple graphic shows the trajectory your kayak should be taking as you leave the eddy and enter the flow. Like a fish swimming upstream, you want to drive up to the top of the eddy and then fade down into that current as you cross that eddy line. As you cross the eddy line, you want to take a hard forward stroke with your upstream hand, and as you raise your edge, begin to look downstream and use your downstream paddle blade as a hanging draw. In this clip, watch how my downstream paddle blade utilizes what is called a defect stroke, which is a combination of a bow draw, which is what I start with, and then it converts in one seamless motion into a forward stroke. Here are a few really good examples of peel outs using proper paddle and boat technique. Again, in this clip, notice how the downstream paddle blade utilizes the defect stroke, where it begins as a bow draw and then seamlessly converts in one motion into a forward stroke. Common errors. Common error number 1. Crossing an eddy line at a 90-degree angle with poor paddle technique. That means you're probably going to flip over. Common error number 2. Dropping your upstream edge instead of raising it. You will flip over. Common error number 3. Approaching the eddy line with inadequate speed, which will result in the flow rejecting you and kicking you back into the eddy. Using proper technique when peeling out can go a long way to making sure you have a great day on the river. When you're just starting out, there's nothing worse than getting in your boat, getting on the water, peeling out, and immediately flipping over. Find a nice calm eddy with a good eddy line and not much current, and just practice these techniques over and over until you get the hang of it. You'll be glad you did, and it will make for good times on the river, especially as you move up into harder rivers. Thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you on the river.